All right, you guys, it was nice to take a look back in the rear view, but what is current? What is hot? What is happening right now? And everybody wants to talk to me about VR and AR. I've been getting some codes for VR games, and some big ones have recently dropped, and I got to take a look at one this week. It is Firewall 0 Hour, which is a terrible name. I can never remember that damn name. It's a first-person shooter. I first got a look at this at E3 earlier this year, and it was created by some veterans in the industry that have built lots and lots of traditional flat games, as the VR Grid likes to call them. And so I actually played with the VR Grid, which was great. He's a super nice guy. Hello, Ryan, if you're watching. And we got to play, it's team-based combat, and you go up against another team if you're taking some of the contracts. And you basically have to get to a computer and hack it, or you have to protect that computer and not let it get hacked. And you can drop all kinds of traps and, you know, grenades and mines and things like that along the way, and you can use the different weaponry that you have and the unlockables that you collect along the way as you progress into the game. You know the drill. You've played lots of shooters like this before, but what makes this unique, of course, is you're wearing the headset and you actually physically look down the sight of your gun, and you're walking around and creeping and trying not to get shot in the head. You peek out from around corners. You physically do all of these things, so it's incredibly immersive and tactile, and that was the wonderful element here. And also, I have to say that the people that I played with were all fantastic. They were all super cool. I was a little bit worried that, you know, I was low ranking because I was just kind of getting my footing and just getting started. I did rank up to about level 6 or something like that over the course of a few hours, and I was starting to get the feel of it, but people were putting up with me not being able to get the kills right away. My aiming wasn't perfect, and I kept using the left trigger button to go to my iron sights, but of course that just shot out a smoke grenade, so I kept doing that. I kept throwing smoke grenades, which were no help to anybody. You don't have to do that in VR. You hold the gun closer to you and you're looking down the iron sights, and it took me a while to kind of physically get into that because this is such a familiar type of experience. We've played so many shooters, and the muscle memory for how we play these things is so ingrained in us. But once I did get the feel for it, I was able to take down some folks, and we're using some of the footage that I streamed, and people were able to you know, watch me get a few kills, which was really gratifying. High ground makes all the difference, as you would expect in real life, or as you compete at a higher level in any kind of traditional shooter out there. And the graphics were pretty solid. The fidelity was pretty good. One thing about the PlayStation VR, it's a very comfortable headset, but it's not really one where you have to adjust anything to focus. It's kind of how you move, how close or how far you move the lenses from your eyes. So you kind of have to just get that perfect spot, and it just sort of hovers there. But it's a light headset, and it's a comfortable headset. I played for hours. I didn't have any issues. My hair was destroyed, though. And Taz did say, "Rest in peace, Vic's hair," which I thought was hilarious when I was playing the game. And I also popped up messages, which I'd never done before. I actually got some of the chat messages were popping up in my headset, so I could see people chatting along as I was playing, and I kept talking with it, and I was worried that I was pissing off all my teammates because I was like having two conversations at once. I was talking with them and also talking with the people watching my stream, but they were all cool. They were so chill, and I respect that very much. Listen, I had a really good time with this game. I'm not done with it, but I think you kind of get the idea of what you can do in the game. There is a single player element, which is more kind of training and giving you, it's not a story, in which that's missing in this experience, you know? The one thing about all VR games is that they're not overpopulated. Not everybody has these things. There is a fountain of different options right now in VR because, of course, as these machines were launching, these headsets were launching, you know, HTC and Oculus and Sony went running at all kinds of developers with checks in hand, and so there's lots and lots of software out there, and so consequently, the install base for all of these, not massive, getting better. PlayStation, I think, is in the lead, but it's not like every game becomes a massive hit and it's super populated with lots of people. We saw that issue with Eve Valkyrie, and it's certainly the case here. I think that there is good buzz around this game. VR Grid was telling me that the developers are promising all kinds of new modes, but what you're finding here is a pretty bare bones kind of sketch of what we would normally get in you know, a Rainbow Six or any kind of modern shooter at this point, you know. You have the 4 versus 4 contracts, which are based in a warehouse, or you're on the docks, or you're in an embassy or something like that. All the maps are pretty solid, very, you know, Counter-Strike-ish. And then you can also do training missions privately with up to 4 people, and you can fight some, basically battle the environment and battle the bad guys, the AI that populates. And it's really, it's not, it's AI, it's AD. Artificially dumb or something. They're not intelligent, is what I'm saying. So they just pop up and they come chasing at you. It's not quite like Doom Demons or anything like that. Actually, I think Doom Demons are smarter, but it's just a bunch of dudes that just come racing at you, and you just got to kill them all before they kill you. But I had fun. Yeah, Firewall, 0 hour, terrible name, very fun game. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 so far, but let's see what kinds of improvements keep happening, and I will put on that headset again, and I will see you in that game.